I want to preface this video with firstly, I understand the subjects and topics I'm discussing within this video today are very controversial topics. I want people to understand that first and foremost, my perspective is one of a fan of the Persona franchise, so in that regard, yes, I am biased in protecting the reputation of one of my most beloved video game franchises. I am also a bisexual trans woman, so with that out of the way, I'd like to discuss the poor media literacy within the Persona fandom. Today I will be discussing topics such as homophobia and transphobia. If these topics are upsetting or disturbing to you, please feel free to click off the video now, and I hope to see you again soon. If you're ready for a shit show, here we go. First, I will be discussing the gender identity of the detective prince Naoto Shirogane, the half-Japanese, half-British young detective from Persona 4. When it comes to the Persona 4 cast, we're quite lucky to have 2 versions of the main game, 5 spin-offs, all canon, 2 anime adaptations, and a manga. No, not that one. The other one. So we aren't short on Persona 4 content, and so we get to know Naoto throughout the entirety as she is a recurring character, unlike Haru in Persona 5. We get to know a lot about her, especially since she has a dungeon themed around her insecurities too. What I'm getting to is that some people genuinely believe that Naoto is a trans boy, which if you only played up to the 4th dungeon and you've only seen Naoto presenting as male, I wouldn't blame anyone for believing that she's a guy. However, it's once you get past her irrespective dungeon that you learn that she cross-dresses due to her fear of being seen lesser as a detective, considering she is a woman and her shadow is also a whiny child, which is how she feels she's seen by the people she admires and desires the respect of. At no point did Naoto deny being a woman once her shadow told the investigation team, and during her social link you grow close to her and able to convince her that she's an amazing detective, and people's perception of her gender identity doesn't make her any less of an amazing detective. Furthermore, going forward to the canon post-game, like in Persona 4 Arena and Dancing, Naoto presents femininely without any signs of regret. Cross-dressing was a mask she wore to society to not be discriminated against for her age or her gender, as the game was set in 2011 Japan, where social concepts such as sexism and misogyny were still very solidly ingrained into part of society. It's not that Atlas follows these beliefs, it's that they created a period piece that shows the outlooks of society and how that can make teenagers feel. Which leads me on to my next point, which is Kanji's sexuality. I've seen a lot of hostility from fans who have been as brave to say that saying Kanji's anything other than gay makes you a homophobe or a bigot. However, the whole point of Kanji's character is that his sexuality or interests do not define him as a person. To him, he became the tough guy he is as a coping mechanism and as a safety mechanism so he wouldn't be bullied for being interested in feminine things. And Kanji consistently throughout the story of Persona 4 is flustered by Naoto before and after he found out that she is a girl. I think it's pretty safe to say that Persona 4's main themes revolve around not judging books by their covers. Things aren't what they seem at the surface, but that's quite literally the themes and ideas put forward by the game. So it's quite funny to me that people just saying Kanji's gay or Naoto's trans, although it's the easiest observation to make, it's more complex and deeper than that. I think the same can be said for Yosuke. It's no secret that his romance route was cut from the game, so his homophobic remarks toward Kanji are completely recontextualized by the knowledge he was able to be dated by the protagonist. Rather than being seen as homophobia, it's seen as projection from the insecurities within Yosuke. So this next section is a lot more comfortable of a conversation to have, as it's in regards to the opinion that Persona 3's C's and Persona 5's Phantom Thieves aren't friends. I think that in regards to people who hold this opinion, I think they should consider first that although the circumstances are what brought C's together, each of them being Persona users, they choose to spend their time with each other. Fuck, they even have relationships. I think this can be boiled down to the complexity of the relationship that Yukari has with C's. She originally joins the team to learn more about the Kirijo group and learn more about her father's death, as she worked for them before he died, and died while working. Yukari is also iffy about members joining against their will. A few times Yukari speaks to the protagonist saying, "Hey, I feel uncomfortable as we aren't giving these people a choice to join C's." So from that perspective, I can understand entirely as to why some people would think that the members of C's aren't friends. However, if you'd actually play the game or were paying attention, Yukari, Junpei, and the Protag often chat in the classroom, and Junpei and Yukari already have a pre-existing relationship. Akihiko, Mitsuru, and Shinjiro were fighting shadows as young teens and have years of camaraderie together. Mitsuru and Akihiko know each other very well, and Akihiko knows Shinjiro since childhood. A lot of dialogue bantering can be found within Reload Portable or FES within Tartarus, or, you know, if you actually played the game, you'd know Ken and Koromaru also form a close bond too for being outcast within the group, as Ken is a child and Koromaru is a dog. And Aigis is, well, Aigis. I'd rather not talk about her relationship with the team as it's plot heavy and spoilerish, and I know a lot of people arguing this shit haven't actually finished Persona 3. So we've established that some members of Theives are friends with other members, but what about Yukari and Mitsuru? Other than being in Theives, they don't know each other. Fucking wrong. Mitsuru loses her dad due to the Dark Hour, similarly to Yukari, and Yukari bitch slaps Mitsuru to get her to come to her senses. Yukari's relationship with Mitsuru is complex enough for a lot of people to headcanon them to be a gay couple. What's that? Theives aren't friends? Then what the fuck is this then? They all hang out and share a dorm together. Look, I know most of my viewers are basement dwellers that haven't left their goon caves in weeks, but you know when you live with people and you see them like literally every fucking day, and you see them at school and you do an activity together and you go on school trips together? That's how you make friends, ding dong! I feel like I've insulted the intelligence of a lot of people that haven't played Persona 3, so what about Persona 5, baby? Woo! Yeah! So, same argument was being made, you know, the fans and Theives are a friend, but okay, so my first suggestion is to play the game before you make that judgment. Okay, make sure you do the social links, you know, even the ones you don't want to do, like Yusuke and Akechi. Okay. Right, so considering you should now know basically everything about each member of the Phantom Thieves, see how they're all gay and do crime together, see how they all bond together and have banter and school trips and trips to mementos. Also see how members have nicknames and pre-established relationships, so like, how aren't they friends? You're trying to tell me that someone who's played this game knows it inside and out, that the people who risk their lives for each other hang out every day and almost have a WhatsApp group chat? Those aren't friends? Why? What, because of a shitty attempt at comic relief with Ryuji in the desert or after the final palace? Or are you gonna argue that circumstance made them friends? Fuck, I don't even like this cast of characters that much, and I can tell you for sure they are most definitely friends. I think the big problem within the Persona fandom is that they haven't played the main games nor the spin-offs. They will base their entire online persona off of a character because they thought their design was cool and pretends to have played any of the games within the franchise. I have no clue why. Like, what is it? Are the games too long for you, or are you that sad and lonely with nothing better to do than just beg for attention by having shitty takes on the internet? I suppose we'll never know. Persona is a homophobic and transphobic franchise. To say that the Persona franchise is homophobic is disingenuous, while although yes, Atlus has had characters be openly homophobic like Yosuke and Ryuji. While Yosuke can be defended, as if you look a little bit deeper, Atlus did cut his gay romance route, and you can see things with like the anime adaptation that Yosuke is the big homo gay. But what about Ryuji and the gay couple in Persona 5? It's pretty bad, I won't lie. The segment I'm referring to is, during the story, Ryuji encounters a gay couple, and in the original Persona 5 they harass him and behave like predators to the point of where in Royal they completely change their dialogue to make them fans of drag rather than being outwardly gay and forcing it upon Ryuji. I will admit, you must have balls to be able to try defend that when Atlus did fully change their dialogue. So yes, in some ways Atlus has made very transphobic and homophobic interactions. Transphobia easily in the original versions of Persona 3 during Operation Babe Hunt. The guys end up getting scared away by a trans woman. They further went on to change this in Portable, however they didn't change it to Miss Kashiwagi due to backlash. They did it, as the co-director simply put, for shits and giggles. To wrap this all up in a nice little bow, I don't think generally Persona is a homophobic or transphobic franchise. I think they've had some unflattering appearances of queer people, but since have retconned them. No, Kanji's sexuality doesn't matter. Do a social link or fuck it, just watch the anime. If you're so impatient you can't play through the game, just watch the anime. No, Naoto isn't trans. To say it's transphobic to say that means you are unaccepting to cross-dressers and incapable of understanding the details of a pretty surface level reason as to why she did what she did. And finally, Theives and the Phantom Thieves aren't friends. If you'd played the game and paid attention, you would actually know the answer to that one. Don't believe what Twitter has to say. Just because a mob of people say something is true doesn't make it true. I predict this video's title and thumbnail may get run through the mud and people may dislike this video and not even watch it and hate me. Thus is the way of modern Persona fans. Speak truth, seek truth, and pursue your true self. I'm a Chris Jesse. Definitely don't join my Patreon alongside these awful names on screen for just $1 a month. Just dislike my video. Don't even think about commenting if you dare share this video. Just know I'm watching, and I know where you are, Michael. I'll come find you. I'll come get you. Also, I read all the comments you leave because I have nothing better to do. Bye!